Hello, soldiers, and welcome. Welcome to the Get a Life podcast, Kunai. I'm the captain of the Blue Ribbon, Tyson Matsuki, and today we begin the Waifu Wars. So I'm recruiting crew for my battleship, and there's another person that is also recruiting people for his battleship, the Gorilla Punch, Bish Loves Mish.
Hello.
Also, we have two potential candidates here for either of these battleships, or they may decide to build a third one or a fourth one, I don't know. Kevin?
Yep, this is going to be exciting. I'll say that, and I think that many dreams will be crushed today, many ships will be sunk.
Many torpedoes will be fired.
Yes.
The thing is that this is the very episode, and it's just the beginning of the Waifu Wars that may compromise the very essence of what is Get a Life Podcast Kunai. Dreams will be crushed, lives will be taken, and probably resignation letters will be given.
Or promotions.
Or promotions. Is that serious? And also we got another candidate for joining either of these battleships. Either the two that are already built, and we're just looking for members. Or he may decide to build his own, or join Kevin's. We have Joe.
Hello, Captain.
Wait, no, which captain are you addressing?
Yes.
No, we're gonna find out. Shh.
We're definitely gonna find out, because we're already at war in the sea, and we need seamen.
You would like that?
Too soon? Phrasing! Boom!
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Series mode over. But in this episode, we're gonna talk about Nisekoi. And before we go into the regular stuff, who's turn to say the disclaimer now?
I believe that would be me.
Oh, sorry, sorry, Joe. It's gonna be me. Oh, not Joe. Shit, your name's Kevin.
I can't believe I've been on this podcast for over a year, and nobody knows my name.
Well, Senpai doesn't notice you ever, so the day Senpai, I'll be on my deathbed. That's the only day I'm gonna notice you. I'm like, Joe. I mean Kevin. I noticed you. Then I'll die in peace.
And you'll have your fingers crossed behind your back or something.
All right, so let's go ahead with the disclaimer to get this war started.
Yeah, so for you new folks, Get a Life Podcast Kunai is a monthly anime discussion podcast under the Get a Life group. Due to the nature of the discussion, we can't avoid spoilers on the show to be discussed. Also, we aren't covering the source material, whether it's manga or light novel, for those shows that are based off of one. We can be found on Stitcher and the iTunes Store, and if you'd like to recommend a show for us to watch, or to make an episode of Kunai, send us your suggestions on Twitter at GalpKunai. So GalpKunai. And we ask that you please only suggest shows that have at most 30 episodes. I mean, hey, wait for it. We've got our lives to attend to. Right? Okay. Sorry about that. Let's move on with the show, shall we? And by the way, that wasn't my joke. I've no part in that.
It was mine, but it's so cheeky that I don't know if I should be either.
Tyson, that's probably
proud?
the cheesiest thing you could have ever come up with.
Hey, I'm the same guy that came up with Welcome to Summer, and Bish didn't really like it.
Yeah, that was original. That was original.
I was gonna say again. I would have been, as soon as you started this episode, I would have been like, "Welcome to summer, guys." I'll do it every episode, really. Every time I'm hosting it, you'll just hear "Welcome to summer," even if it's Christmas. Welcome to summer. I'll do it on Christmas episode. Just watch.
It just to spite me.
Just to spite Tyson.
All right. So let's start with the discussion. Oh my god, these guys are way too much. For starters, Nisekoi is based off a manga that was published by Naoshi Komi. Nisekoi was originally aired during the winter season of 2014 of anime. It was produced by Animation Studio Shaft and directed by renowned Shaft director Akiyuki Shimbo. The story of Nisekoi follows Raku Ichijo, the son of a leader in the yakuza faction Shuegumi, and Chitoge Kirisaki, the daughter of a boss in a rival gang known as the Beehive. To avoid war between these two factions, they're forced to date each other, and that's as basic as the plot gets. So let's start the discussion with that.
I just want to start off with the fact that I think I'm the only person on the podcast that did not watch Nisekoi before it was suggested, right?
Yeah,
Yeah? Okay.
I think so.
So I really did not know what to expect going into this anime, other than knowing that Chitoge was tsundere. That's the only information I had, alright? That and the fact that Tyson thought that Tsugumi was best girl. Alright, so
Yeah, I'm pretty vocal about my love for Tsugumi.
it's all about that blue hair life, am I right? But anyways, first episode started off pretty well, you know. The premise I noted right away was pretty interesting, right? With that false love stuff going on between Raku and Chitoge is really interesting. And I find that it gives me a very big Haganai vibe. For whatever reason, I can't put my finger on this. I don't know if
I have that feeling as well.
you'll agree, Tyson and Bish, but
Yeah, definitely.
lots of the characters in particular reminded me of certain characters from Haganai, right? And that is just great because, you know, Haganai is one of my favorite shows, and this show, Nisekoi, has a pretty good cast of characters. They're not all particularly well developed, they're not all deep, but they have personalities about them that make them unique and just funny. They just create great moments on the show. And if you didn't know what genre this is, I'd say it's romantic comedy, but at the same time, I'd argue, debatably here, that it's slightly ecchi, alright? I don't know if you guys agree with that.
I don't. I don't.
Me neither.
I don't really agree with that.
There are some moments where, like, actually quite a few moments where there are really, like, risque shots of certain characters. Like, it got so frequent that I noted it while I was watching, you know?
I want to ask you a question, Kevin. How many times did you saw the beach episode? Because that's the only part in which it could be considered remotely ecchi,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I mean, I think it's ecchi because...
Or the beach episode or the sauna episode. Which one? Which one did you watch the most, and how many times did you do it?
I watched every episode once.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Oh my god, what is up with you trying to paint me as a pervert? Jesus, Tyson. Okay,
Well, you say yourself that you want to be the lewd person on this podcast, so might as well start painting you as a pervert right now.
No, stop misquoting. I said that I thought that you thought that I was that type of person. I am not that type of person. But anyways, I'd say it's ecchi because there's... Did none of you guys notice how there are so many shots of, like, boobs or, like, skirts in this anime? Like,
You'd have to be a real pervert to notice that stuff.
no, but it's flashed in your face all the time.
I agree with Kevin
Okay.
to some extent.
I'm not... It's not ecchi to the point where, you know, it's something like freezing where it just, you know, it gets in the way of the plot, but it's still obvious that
You
it's
can't get away
cent-
from it, really.
Yeah, it's directed to a male audience. Just like all the ab shots really surprised me in Free. You know, and it just hit me. It's like, maybe we don't notice it because we're a male audience. We're the audience that this type of show is targeting. But, you know, once we watched Free, we noticed that, oh, we're on the other side now. Things are kind of different, right? But to some extent, you can't really deny that it's targeted at a younger male audience, you know?
The thing is that this being a harem is definitely targeted for a male audience. That's definitely it. But I'm just so flabbergasted at your statement that you consider Nisekoi to be slightly ecchi. Because
Slightly. I'm not saying this is like High School DxD. I'm just saying.
I
it's-
understand, but it's not something that I really thought about while watching Nisekoi. And I watched this show about, at least at the time of this show, I watched it like 6 times from start to finish.
What?
Wow.
Seriously.
That's more than
Oh my
like me and Toradora. That's crazy.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think you could tell by now, but Tyson is like the Nisekoi fanboy of this podcast.
And I want to get more into detail about that later, but
Alright.
I'm gonna just let Kevin finish his statement and then just pass the microphone to everybody else.
But yeah, overall, the anime left a pretty good impression on me. I'll probably watch the second season, which is unfortunately, for whatever reason, I don't know why, it's only 12 episodes instead of 20 like this. And I have a feeling that it's only 12 because it caught up with visual novels, which is, the manga, sorry. I find that the plot. I mean, this is a romantic comedy. I'm not expecting a lot out of it, but I do find that the plot, although the premise was interesting, there are also many points in the plot that made me go, well, this doesn't really make sense. For example, like, I mean, if both Raku and Chitoge's parents were head of their gangs, right? And they wanted to avoid war, why was it necessary to have Chitoge and Raku be girlfriend and boyfriend in the first place? If both leaders of both gangs want to avoid war, couldn't they just, it doesn't make sense to me.
Let me explain that. It's the fact that you don't want to make yourself look less of power in terms of your lesser Yakuza gang members, for instance. You don't want to make them think that, oh, why is he doing this? Why is he being friends with the other rival gang? I can go and rebel against this. They don't want that. But if you put it in a love situation, they're going to be happy because they're like, oh man, our young master's growing up. He has a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
They think about it like that. And Yakuza, yes, they are gangs at the end of the day, but they are really tight in terms of, they're like family, basically.
Yeah, it's like what Bish said. Like when they came together, when like Raku and Chitoge were supposed to come together, in a way, it was kind of like a peace treaty. It's kind of like the show, like they're gonna connect with each other. Like they have the youngest like members of like the clan. Like they're gonna be, and like with Raku being like the future master, it's like it's good for their clan. And it's like the fact that like
I want to point something out. Sorry for interrupting, Joe, but something that is not really mentioned in the anime, but it is pointed out in the manga, is that everyone calls Raku the future master of the Shueigumi, but he's actually way too much of a puss to fight and do regular Yakuza stuff. So that's why he wants to grow out of the Yakuza stage.
But even then, if you're a master of the Yakuza, you don't really need to know anything. I don't know any Yakuza gang members, but at most of the time, you're going to be sitting down all day. You're not actually going to participate in fighting. You have your lesser gang members for that. Mm-hmm. You just need to be there, basically. You just need to be the head of the family. That's all it is.
I just think of this whole Yakuza family lifestyle as I played the Yakuza video game, the one developed by Sega, and I'd like to think that it's something like that.
It is
like how real Yakuza
it
behave.
is, to be honest. I don't want to really get into the whole Yakuza thing, but I think this is a somewhat accurate portrayal of, although it is very comedic, but it is kind of in terms of the whole family and how Yakuza are. It's not like other gangs, not like
it's not like the mafia, right?
Yeah, kind of.
If they probably would have focused more on the Yakuza side of the plot, it would have been interesting, but then you start to see further down the road that the fact that Chitoge and Raku, being the son and daughter of Yakuza members, lose a lot of importance.
That's true.
So it develops from quite what I thought to be a serious plot to one that is just strictly comedy.
Initially, I watched this anime when it was simulcast. I was pretty bored. I was watching it along with Chunibyo at this time. It was about 2014. I remember I just finished Haganai and I was looking for something to watch. Surprisingly, guess who suggested it?
Oh, hang on. What's his name? What's his name?
His name's Daniil.
Daniil, yeah.
Daniil, he suggested it. He was like, watch this, Nisekoi. He was watching it simulcast at the time. And then I watched it.
Question, if Daniil suggested it, Nisekoi is what number of anime? Because usually Daniil just kind of walk you in.
Daniil got me into my first sort of anime, so this was probably...
This is the second, the third, the fourth?
No, this is probably more than that, maybe seventh.
The seventh show that you watched?
Seventh anime, probably.
Okay.
This was really early on though, so during the summer of 2014 I really watched a lot more anime. So
okay.
In English schools, you learn a lot of Shakespeare plays and a lot of poetry. And this felt very poetic as an anime. I know it's a really weird way to describe it, and it did kind of feel like Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
But a really odd Romeo and Juliet. And what I mean by that is because Romeo and Juliet, they are from two different families. You know, the Montagues and... probably I'm butchering their names. But, you know, yeah, they're two different families. Star-crossed lovers. I believe they actually mentioned this in this anime as well.
Yes.
But anyway, I'll talk to that. Talk about that later. They have the two families. Obviously, they're in a feud, kind of like these two yakuza gang members. But there isn't no sort of truce. That's the difference here. Here, there's this truce where they force them. So it's kind of like a reverse Romeo and Juliet, because they don't want to be together. They're forced. Hence why it's called Nisekoi, false love.
False love.
False love in English. So it's quite interesting there, and I kind of, at the beginning, I was like, Chitoge is best girl. At the beginning, honestly, because...
hang on, no, you
We're not discussing best girls yet.
I have to cross-examine
This
now.
isn't the time for this.
Let me explain. I felt, at the beginning, I felt really warm towards her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but did she stay best girl? Like,
she did stay best girl, but I have another best girl. But let me explain. I'll explain that later. She had this kind of shyness to her, and the fact that she was an American student, well, she's half. The fact that she's half American, half Japanese, coming over to Japan and not really knowing, kanji and stuff like that. Something that I kind of relate to in a sense. Being the outsider, that was really relatable. So I really related to her a lot, as opposed to Ichijo, or not Ichijo. What's his name? Raku. Yeah, that's the one. Him. Yeah, to me he kind of seemed like a klutz. Another thing is, I felt the anime was kind of cliche at points, especially with the whole keys, the locking keys. It really did seem something that Shakespeare would write. But I really can't complain about that. So yeah, Joe, what do you think? What were your first impressions?
Well, okay, so I watched this like sometime after it was simulcast. Like it was like sometime before season 2 aired. And so like I'm like, you know what, I want to, like, season 2 looks cool. Like I'll check out season 1, like, because like they're like kind of like you-ish. Like I kind of want something to watch. And like I normally don't watch a lot of harems, or like harems, how to pronounce it. And so like it's like this is like something that's like relatively new to me. So I started watching it, and I actually really liked it. It was like a really cool concept about it was a really cool concept, like with like the lock and like Raku's like childhood past where he met this girl. Like how like Chitoge got into his life, and then like how like they started dating. It's just really cool. Like, it's really interesting. It got me engaged, and like I was just like watching more and more episodes. Yeah, like I was just like super hooked.
So, we've all mentioned at some point in our initial impressions that we found that the premise with the locket and like the two families and stuff to be pretty interesting, right? Do you guys think that your opinions of that premise stay the same progressively as you watched the anime, or do you think it changed? Because
I would say
it changed.
Mine stayed the same. I found it was very interesting.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'll give an example. So for me, like I at first I thought it was pretty cool. It is pretty original to have a situation where there are these two characters who are forced to pretend to be a couple, right? But and the lockets thing was pretty cool, yet kind of cliche. But after a while, I found that the thing with the lockets and the keys just got completely ridiculous, because every single character ended up having a key, and there's just moments where I just went like, this is insane, this is absurd. Your
opinion is actually the opposite of what I thought. Because I thought, like, at first it was like this like really simple, like, oh, it looks like there has the key, and like, but like it's probably be like until like the end of the show, until like C brings it up, like kind of like those kind of stories. But then like I found out like, Chitoge has a key, Marika has a key, and it's just like it just got really complicated. I'm like, wow.
It got ridiculous at that part, yes.
It wasn't like it was ridiculous.
It reminds me of Oprah, it's like you get a key and you get a key and everybody gets a key. Like,
oh my god.
No, it was ridiculous in like this like really interesting way. Like it was like I really want to know what's gonna happen. Like whose key is the real key?
But the
like,
thing
it's
is,
like it spiked my curiosity.
Oh my god.
Are we ever gonna know whose key is the real key? Forgive me, I don't read the manga, but do we actually find out in the manga who has the real key?
If we find out, it's gonna be when Nisekoi comes to a close, because I'm catching up with the manga, and no, still there's no reveal.
What I think is gonna happen is that they're gonna keep it open. they probably won't actually even find out.
That's probably gonna be it because you think about it, it's a harem, right? It's very
Yeah.
few harem.
It's a
anime.
harem, yeah.
Other than that one anime that shall not be named, I think Bish knows what I'm talking about.
Which one?
And you know what I'm talking about. Deep inside, the one with the
can't
canon ending, the one that you hate, that you loved it first, and you ended up hating the second season.
Oh, Oremo.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Oremo.
I mean, I have a feeling that, like, in a way, the author might just troll everyone and just have, like, the last panel is Raku, like, trying to lock it, and it just fading to black.
What if he finds a key and it's like someone completely different, like a new character? Wouldn't that piss you off?
The thing is that in manga circles where they discuss Nisekoi, Komi is kind of known as a troll.
Do you think that's kind of translated through to the anime?
Definitely, because now Komi wrote the story. So in a way, Shaw, what they're only doing is staying as true to the source material as possible.
I had a theory early on, while I was watching the anime, and I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't turn out to be true, at least not from what I've watched so far. I was like, you know what? What if Raku was secretly a pimp as a kid and actually gave a key to every single one of those girls, and he actually asked them, all of them, to marry him? I mean, that would make
That
sense,
makes sense. That
from the
does make
plot
sense.
standpoint. Yeah, that would. Why would they all have keys then, right?
It's really funny because it actually does make sense.
It's an actual plausible theory.
Yeah, because a lot of
Yeah.
young kids do that, especially young boys. Yeah, it's true.
The thing is that I can't bring myself to believe that because Raku is so fucking dense. But then again, this is a herring anime. All the main protagonists of a herring are dense.
Dense. Yeah, that's completely.
No, but I mean, one thing. Speaking of the locket and the locks and stuff, one thing I find really really dumb is that none of them remember who they made the promise to. I mean, think about it. Yeah, it's cute and all that you made a promise and stuff, but why is it so important to you? Especially since you can't remember the person's name or face. That's kind of saying something about how much you actually care about that person. If you can't remember their name or face, like, do you actually love them? You know?
That's why I can't take Nisekoi seriously as at its plot, and I find that my enjoyment of Nisekoi was best when Nisekoi was seen as a comedy, because as a comedy I can definitely vouch for Nisekoi, but as an actual story, no, definitely
Wow,
not.
it's completely different from what I was gonna say.
I have to agree with Tyson though. I mean, I think it's kind of like The Devil is a Part-Timer. It's one of those shows where to enjoy it, you just kind of have to shut off your brain and just enjoy it in the moment. You know, you have to enjoy the characters and the laughs that you share between them, right?
The thing is that when I first I kind of want to segue into my first impressions, otherwise I'm gonna get steamrolled here. So when I found about Nisekoi is when I got a subscription to Shonen Jump. There are a few shows that I have been introduced to that way. Nisekoi was one of them, and I was reading and everything, and I thought this was kind of cool, and I brought this up to Bish, and at the time the second season was being announced, and I brought this up to Bish, and I'm like, there's a season 1 of Nisekoi. I would definitely want to see this in anime. And he was like, oh, it's on Crunchyroll. You can go watch it. And I'm like, really? Yes, go watch it. So I did that, and I originally thought that also the locket and the premise was cool, but the more I began to read about, I mean, it's something that I tend to do. I tend to overanalyze everything and over-research everything. It's where I began to Nisekoi is one of those shows that has me very, very conflicted. I know I'm the one who suggested the show, but when it comes to what we do here on Kunai, I have to be honest with what I feel and about the show and everything. I love and hate Nisekoi, and I want to try to get some light on that. And I made mention to this, like, it starts with the story about the two rival gangs forcing their offsprings to date each other, and this lost a lot of relevance like the further this went down the road. And I do have some thoughts about
Can I
that.
comment there? I mean, from what you and Bishop have been saying, I think that what I'm getting is that you two thought that it would be like you said earlier that you thought that this gang thing would play a bigger part in the anime, right?
Yes, I definitely thought that.
Because I mean, from what I got from the first episode, I thought it was pretty clear from the start that, this was just like the background for a comedy show. I mean, even from the start, it was really goofy, right? Even the yakuza and the mafia, they were all really laid back, very funny characters, right? I didn't really get this serious tone, right?
I understand that, but for me, it wasn't the fact that as you mentioned, it did set itself out as a comedy. But I was just looking at that and I was like, okay, it's nice that these Yakuza characters are funny. But at the same time, I want to see the more serious side to the Yakuza. I want a kind of more grittier Nisekoi. Do you know what I mean? I want to see people die. I know that sounds really, really depressing, but I really want to see that.
I think that would kill the mood, though, because I think that'd be too extreme of a change.
No, I think it would be a great in terms of drama. I think Nisekoi would work really well as a dramatic anime, something similar to Toradora or Golden Time or something like that.
Well, they have showed how the Yakuza could be very serious. Like when like those times when like Chitoge's father is trying to sabotage Raku. Was it like whoever was her guardian?
Claude. Right?
No, Claude is the bodyguard. Is the bodyguard Chitoge.
But he's the one that's always trying to sabotage him, isn't it?
Is either the bodyguard or her father, but like one or the other was trying to sabotage Raku.
It was Claude, yeah.
It's Claude.
So the more I began to read about it, the more I. Oh, hold on, hang on. I just wanted to address Kevin's point first because I definitely wanted to see Nisekoi embrace that more darker side. I'm a sucker for dark stories. I won't lie. And most of the funny moments of the show, I attributed it as being part of the shop style. And that's also another thing. Like Shop has their own style, their very own style of doing animation and doing shows, and it's also linked to the director of the show who leads most of Shop's popular works. And if you start to see, just pretty much when you see a studio's work over the years, you start to see a style developing after it. And Shop is no different. So I attributed those funny moments to just Shop being Shaft.
I have a question. So the funny moments in anime, if you attribute them to Shaft, does that mean that the manga perhaps had a different tone? That's what I'm understanding.
Well, the analysis that I'm trying to do now is before I even read the manga wasn't covered in season 1. It was like way ahead. And I only interested me for the comedy, but then when I get into the anime, I started to see this whole different concept of what Nisekoi was, and I'm like, well, this is different. And it was a pleasant surprise in the way that I wanted to see more of this develop. But again, it's part of why I feel so conflicted with this show. Like, I love and hate Nisekoi. I hate it as in terms of the plot, but I love it in terms of the comedy.
I agree with you.
Let's move on, because we talked about the story quite a lot. I think let's move on to favorite moments and episodes. I'll start with this one. For me, my favorite episodes, to be honest, were the last episodes of the season. The reason I say that is because it kind of continues on with this whole Romeo and Juliet thing, to the point where they even address it themselves in the anime, which I do like, especially how, I believe it was supposed to be Chitoge. Oh no, it wasn't supposed to be Chitoge. It was supposed to be Raku and Onodera as Romeo and Juliet, and then something happened to Onodera, and Chitoge took over, and it was like, oh my god, Senpai noticed me. It's like I really felt entwined with that ending in that sense. What do you guys think? What are your favorite episodes? I'm not really gonna elaborate on that because I didn't.
Alright, let me I'll talk about my favorite episode. And before you say anything, it is not the beach episode.
Okay.
Alright. I wasn't gonna judge you if it was, but
I just cross my fingers that it's the same episode as me, alright? Just cross my fingers.
It's just that I consider myself the lewd man of this podcast group. So I expect the people to think I'd be the beach episodes. But anyway, it was the last few episodes. I loved them. Like, I loved the play, like with Bish said, with I loved the Romeo and Juliet scene, and what was really funny is how Marika ended up invading, and she basically She basically ruined the entire play.
I wouldn't say she ruined it. I'm gonna have to
no,
disagree
it was like
there.
no, she ruined it, but it ended up like pleasing the entire audience even more.
Maybe she ruined it for the characters. I don't think I'd say the same for the people watching the anime though.
No,
Just-
I don't. No, I'm talking. I'm saying that in the sense that like like she ruined the play, as in like she like destroyed it.
I know that was just a very bad joke on my part. Just proceed. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
I'll
You're
just shut
making a
up now.
joke. What kind of joke was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just I didn't say anything. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Back to my point. The play is just really. It was just really like it just got me in the heart. Like it just got me there. It was really sad. It was really happy, and then they dropped the giant Marika onto the entire stage.
That was funny.
I have to agree with you there. I mean, I think the last 3 episodes. Let me check my notes. The last 3 episodes in particular were definitely my favorites. But there's also another one which I'll get to later. But anyways, the last 3 episodes, I completely agree with you. On top of that comedic value that the last 3 had, I also think that there was a good mixture of feels with Chitoge being really angry at Raku. I think that that hit me right in the feels. It is pretty good.
Can
But also,
I just stop you there?
Yes.
Because when you mentioned that and the whole scene, it was like that kind of reminded me of Free Season 2. I know there's an odd link of how Makoto was really angry at Haru. I felt like a similar sort of thing.
I agree.
Like similar sort of emotions were going on, and
The thing that I'm flabbergasted about is just how much of an impact Free made on both Bish and Kevin.
Don't flatter yourself now, Tyson. Don't.
I'm not trying to flatter myself, but rather just wonder just what is it about Free that like I'm a big fan of it, but like I'm not mentioning it on every podcast.
Well, if you don't, then we do. You should. But anyways, back to the point. Yeah. I can see where you're going, Bish, and I agree. But I think that this might have had more of an impact because Makoto, isn't a tsundere blonde. So, I mean,
he is kind of in Season 2. Let's be honest. He was being a bit bitchy.
I wouldn't say he's being bitchy. I think Haru was being bitchy, and Makoto was being, a good friend and caring for him. But anyways, I find that the play in particular, not only was it good because it was funny, but it is also very creative because in the play, not only are they putting gags in there, but they're also addressing some of the key points that happened in the series, right?
Yeah.
And that's a very creative way to wrap up the season, with all of Raku's potential love interest showing up in the play in some form or another, and there's also Claude that suddenly comes in out of nowhere in the play, and it kind of recaps the entire play for you, and it's a really creative and funny way of doing it. So I have to applaud the anime for integrating that. So it was really creative, really funny, and it is a perfect way of wrapping up the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, there isn't really any way that Shoff could have ignored that being so instrumental to the story as it is.
Speaking of Free though, Bish, do you think that Onodera is kind of like Rei in the sense that she got cockblocked?
What?
She got hardcore cockblocked though.
So this is the direction this episode is gonna take.
No, wait, no, I don't think so.
But she did get cockblocked though, didn't she? I mean,
No, she kind of did all the time. But I wouldn't say she's like Rei.
no,
not
but
at all.
if you think about it, Rei wanted to go on the relay, and then he got cockblocked at the last seconds by the rudder, right?
That's true, but I don't think he was cock blocked at all. I think something happened, and obviously she couldn't be able to attend the play.
But that's what I'm saying. She got cockblocked.
No, it
at the
wasn't.
last second.
It wasn't like Rin just casually goes in there and like, "Hey, Rei, fuck you." No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like
I
Chitoge
agree.
did that. It was Chitoge didn't want to even take the part. Do you know what I mean? She didn't. So it's because she had to. I don't think she was cock blocked in any way. I think life cock blocked her essentially.
Okay, but
If
are there
there's
any-
if there's someone that got cockblocked here, I would say that it's Marika. I would definitely say.
I can agree
in regards
with
to
that.
the play. In regards to the play.
No, but she never had a spot in the play at all originally, right? So it wasn't much of a cockblock.
Hang on, because Marika was supposed to be the replacement for Onodera if she, by any reason, couldn't make it. And not only Onodera did not make it, but also Marika didn't make it. Like, to actually play Juliet.
Actually, yeah, I see your point there, but...
Disregarding the gags from the episode and that Marika actually did show up.
But, like, are there any, Onodera fans here?
I'm right here. Hello.
Okay, Joe, so... I want to know your opinion as an Onodera fan. Did you feel any salt when that happened?
Wait, any what?
Did you feel any salt when Onodera got cockblocked from her moment with Raku? 'Cause I would have been pissed if that happened to me. If it had been the other way around.
I am an ocean of salt right now.
I know it. I feel you, Joe. I would have been so mad. I mean, I really enjoyed it because it was a really good Chitoge and Raku moment, but I really feel bad for the Onodera fans. Even though they got their little moment at the end, I still feel that they both got... Onodera specifically got the short end of the stick in the end, and it kind of sucks.
But let me see if I can get Joe out of his saltiness. So we're discussing favorite episodes, right? I would come out and say this right now if it wasn't already obvious enough. I'm not a Onodera shipper, but I love the episode in which Raku and Onodera are at the store, where the mom goes away and they need a part-time worker. I love that episode.
I love that episode.
And this coming from someone who doesn't ship Onodera. I love that episode.
You don't ship them, really? Okay, we'll talk about that later, yes. But
I don't.
That's interesting.
All I could help but think about is, I don't know if you guys recall Kimi ni Todoke. I suggested the Christmas episode of that show for the Christmas episode. So, Onodera and Raku are the same. They're basically Sawako and Kasehaya. It's just that for some reason, and for me, since I managed to see Kimi ni Todoke, it was painful to watch the interaction between Sawako and Kasehaya. But for some reason, I don't see that in Raku and Onodera. At least, not in season 1, at least.
It was really obvious, like painfully obvious that like they were supposed to be like one and the same.
It got annoying, to be honest. Like,
no. Which is why it was so infuriating that Onodera didn't just confess her feelings.
Guys, you haven't seen infuriating, like, you two like each other, just get together until you have seen Kimi ni Todoke.
That's exactly what I was screaming at I was screaming that at the fucking screen.
Well, Tsugumi doesn't matter.
I was screaming that at the screen the entire time.
I want to come clean on this, like, because I've seen season 2 and that shaped my opinion of Onodera. But
please don't spoil. By the way, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, so I'm gonna stick with season 1 here. I mean, I never got to the point in which I felt that it was painful to watch that Raku and Onodera. I never found myself in the point where I would say I'm rooting. It's just that the comedy paces between Onodera and Raku were, at least to me as a viewer, more enjoyable to watch. And yes, I'm a Tsugumi shipper, but her episode just wasn't all that because she still wasn't acclimating to just having feelings for Raku. But when it comes to Onodera, at least that episode is just. And oh my god, the Onodera's mom teasing her, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I'm pretty sure that I could watch that 100 times and I would still laugh at that part.
Okay, but commenting on the Onodera and Raku thing, I think that I agree with Joe here. It got to the point where I was like, I think that this is just a nuisance to the story because.
No, I did say it was like a nuisance to the story.
No,
I was just really pissed that Onodera didn't confess her feelings.
I'll explain why I think it kind of like was detrimental. I feel that, like, you know what, Raku, it kind of ruins the aspect of a harem because for one, in a harem, usually the main character doesn't know who he wants to be with, right?
Exactly.
This is the opposite.
Raku doesn't know.
It's like, you fucking know that you want to be with Onodera. Just quit being a pussy and get your shit together. Why is this even a harem then? It's kind of,
Well, the thing is, I think he's just afraid because it's like, he doesn't know if, like, Onodera is, like, the person he met in the past. Like, because, like, what if he started dating Onodera and then, like, he ended up finding out who was really, like, his, like, partner?
I'll get onto that. The thing is, there's so many stupid moments in the anime where Raku's like, you know what? I don't care about what happened in the past because it's really my emotions now that matter. And then 5 seconds later, he'll be like, you know what? I changed my mind. I actually think that the promise in the past was really important. And it's like, make up your fucking mind. Jesus Christ. And this story is going nowhere.
That's the attempt of Komi trying to cook a plot for the show.
It's like, it's going in circles here. But
that's what harems are. That's what harems are.
No. But the reason is in other harems, you actually have, like, I don't know, like, a tiny chance of your ship becoming true, right? But in this case, since Raku is already likes Onodera, there is practically no chance of him being paired up with anyone else.
Kevin,
That's what?
Nisekoi or plot? Choose one.
No, but it's like this. I feel like it's a wolf in sheep's skin here because it's like it's trying to be a harem, but it's not. It's painfully obvious that it's not.
I have a comment regarding that because I've been seeing theories about that. Now Shikomi is rumored that when he started producing Nisekoi, he didn't envision Nisekoi as a harem. Actually, that's one.
Oh.
My life is a lie. Oh my god, my life is a lie.
Here's what I've been reading, and I'm just throwing this out there without knowing if it's true myself or not. What Komi intended to do with Nisekoi was do a romantic comedy, basically the triangle of Raku, Onodera, and Chitoge, with some Sugumi humor. That's what he intended to do. But apparently the editor told him that it was better to do a harem, and it would actually make him sell more than what he's selling now.
That fucks everything up though, because like it crushes so many dreams. You know how many ships are sunk? Well, have been sunk because of that. I mean,
wait. Let's just stop right there in terms of
They
ships.
created the love pentagon.
The thing about a herring is that they're designed to make you root for a character. So actually, the herring going in circles, the story going in circles, is actually beneficial to make it to a herring.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Here, I just said that since Raku has feelings for Onodera, it's impossible to ship him with anyone else because it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You know that it's not going to happen. So there's no point in reading because you know that if there was a canon ending, let's say that the author decided to not have an open ending, you just know that Raku and Onodera would get paired up eventually. Because it's explicitly stated that he has feelings for her and no other character. He might have some doubts occasionally, but it's obvious
But that's his own internal dialogue. It's not like he decided to act upon those feelings because he's dating Chitoge and he's worried about this. So he feels.
Yeah, it's conflicting, but like you can't say to me with a straight face that he doesn't like Onodera more than like Chitoge or Tsugumi and stuff. You can't say that with a straight face, right?
I don't know. Anyway, we should probably move on to. We already covered stories, so let's go to characters then.
All right.
Hey.
In terms of characters, I'll start off with character design. Character design, obviously, a lot of Shaft animes do look similar in terms of their character design and whatnot.
And they're pretty.
They're beautiful. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. The show was very pretty.
It was, and what I enjoyed about it as well was the fact that you have your in the comedic scenes you kind of have your kind of low tech sort of animations, which are less detailed and whatnot, which is fair enough, and I like that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I like what's going on with the anime. It looks great. I haven't seen the manga. I'm not going to comment on it because we are an anime podcast at the end of the day. But I love the animation style, and I found it very refreshing to me because it's very similar to other stuff. I wouldn't say it's similar to stuff that JC Staff would do. It's its own separate entity in its, but it was very familiar to me, very colourful as well, which was very interesting. In terms of least favourite characters, I'll be honest with you, it's not actually one of the girls.
Really?
Yeah, it's Shu.
I agree.
Had a
I
feeling
agree.
it was Shu.
It's Shu. The reason I say that is because Shu is, first of all, he's a punching bag for a lot of jokes. He's always getting beaten up by Ruri, and I find he's not needed at all in the anime, and that's my personal opinion. Another character that I don't like as much, even though he's very beneficial to the story, is of course Raku. And the reason I say that is because I just don't like his attitude. Do you know what I mean? He's very...
Explain.
What aspect of it?
As you guys mentioned, like, he likes Onodera, but at the same time, it's like he gets confused because he's like, oh, okay, so I'm starting to grow upon Chitoge, So it's kind of that aspect, and I'm like, dude, come on, just fuck Onodera on the side. I'll be honest with you, because he's a Yakuza.
Oh, wow.
He's basically going to be a Yakuza boss, and a lot of Yakuzas, they tend to have more than one mistress. It's well known. So he could do that as well. Probably his dad has like loads of mistresses. Anyway, but that's another thing. I find that he's very soft as a character. He's very like... He needs to make a lot of decisions, yet he doesn't make any decisions throughout the course of this anime. He's always confused.
I agree. He's
It's kind
indecisive.
of like that effect where it's like you have all this stuff to do, but in the end you do none of it.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of the opposite of a character, the main character from Haganai, because he knows what he's doing.
The one thing I want to say about Haganai is that it's a harem, but it's a smart harem. But we'll discuss that whenever Haganai comes around.
I have to disagree there, Bish, because I think it's the opposite, actually, because, like I said, Raku clearly has one person in mind. It's just that he fails to act on his
No, but the thing
emotions,
is,
right?
he doesn't really trust his emotions, and even then, he doubts himself sometimes. And the fact that he's thinking about another girl just shows that he's not really with the whole Onodera thing. You know what I mean? Like, he's not focused completely on Onodera, which is, for me, is disappointing. And obviously, it's understandable, because if you had him focus on Onodera, it would just be a love story between Onodera and Raku, and it seems dumb. Another thing is, in terms of that, so pretty much I don't like the male characters in this anime. That's pretty much what I'm saying. In terms of female characters who I dislike, I'm sorry to whoever likes...
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
No, you have to. You have to.
Don't
I have to.
Do it.
It's-
Do it. Do
I'm
it.
sorry.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Just do it.
Wow, Tyson. This is probably going to be aired like 3 months later than that whole incident, so
Bish,
people are
please
going
don't
to
do this
forget
to me.
about it.
Please
but
don't do this to me.
Do you know who I really dislike? I'm sorry, I'm going to shoot
If
a
you say it.
torpedo at someone's ship. Tyson.
But
I like Tsugumi, honestly do. But there's something about her that for me, it's the same sort of thing. It's like she's so senpai notice me, and she's like, no, I don't like him, and at the same time she's like, oh yeah, I want to suck his dick. I'm sorry, I'm being very lewd here, but at the same time, it's kind of true. Like she's very thirsty for Raku. That's one thing.
thirsty.
God, no.
She's thirsty.
Thirsty.
Give her a bottle of water.
Oh my god.
No, but I'm being honest with you. It's because I just don't like how she acts. Like, even I think, remember the spin the bottle thing? Was it the spin the bottle, or was it some card game? It was a card game. I
It
remember
was
that.
all made. It was all made during
Yeah,
the sauna episode.
Yeah, they were doing that, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is she even getting involved? Like, she doesn't really like him. Like, everyone else's interest in Raku has, some sort of prevalence in the sense that there's history behind that. She's just lusting over him. She doesn't really like him, from what I can see. And that's why I don't really like her. She's a great character, though. I'm not going to deny that. It's not like I'm going to shit all over your waifu. Because that's not the place.
No, that's my job.
And my job.
Oh my god. Whose many job is to shit on my dreams?
It's
what?
it's a collective effort. Okay, it's everybody's job.
No.
It's like, do you think only one person can do that? We need an entire group to just shit on your waifus.
Yeah, by the way, I think we're hiring. We need more people to help us with this. Please contact me on Twitter if you're interested in helping me in the crusade against Tyson's waifus. Yeah.
In the crusade.
PSA there.
At the Tempest
oh my
Phoenix,
God.
but make sure to capitalize everything.
No,
Yeah,
only
capitalize
the
everything.
first letter of every word. But
Steam and prepare for battle. We are about to sink Kevin off port.
Oh no, don't say
Enjoy,
that.
enjoy as well.
Don't say about sinking Kevin with semen. That sounds wrong.
am I like walking off? No. Here, here's a more PG-13.
Tyson, you are
allegory.
disgusting.
No,
Yeah, remember, what happens in Tyson time stays in Tyson time. Okay. I know that you think of me a
Tyson,
lot.
you need to understand that, Tyson.
No, hang on, because you two actually have dirty minds, because you're thinking about that liquid substance when I'm referring to people who work on the battleship.
No, but like,
The only liquid substance I drink is water. What kind of stuff are
something.
you thinking about you in this, man?
like, I noticed that Tyson just can't stop thinking about me. Like, I don't know. Maybe Tyson is secretly tsundere. I mean, maybe he just really likes me, you know?
He's not secretly tsundere. He is tsundere.
No, I'm a cool daddy. I'm not a tsundere.
All right, Tyson.
But you're
That's
very
what a tsundere
talkative,
would
though.
say.
A kudere doesn't talk that much.
I'm a mix of tsundere and kudere.
Can't be a mix, Tyson.
There can only be one.
Can only be one.
Kuderes aren't that talkative, though.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you are very vocal about your opinions and emotions.
Hence why you're tsundere.
Yeah, you can't be a kudere.
Yeah. You kind of remind me of Tiger from Toradora. Just saying.
I'll probably watch Toradora sometime in my anime lifetime.
Sometime you have to. I'll probably suggest it. Someone will. Anyway,
Alright, can I
going
say
back-
my least favorite character?
yeah, say your least favorite character. Please do not let it be Chitoge, please.
Joe hates Tsugumi. Joe hates
here's the thing.
Tsugumi.
Yeah, I hate Tsugumi, but that's for best girl. That's for best and worst girl debates. I'm talking about least favorite.
All right.
I'm gonna have to agree with Fish. Like Shu was like he was funny at first, but it got old really fast. Like I just felt annoying. It just felt like a running gag that I just didn't want to like see again. And it's like because like you expect the same, you see the same thing. It's like he's being his old goofy self, but then like Ruri just like comes in and just like screws him up.
I agree. You know what? I'm gonna have to jump in the train here. Although, I mean, I do think Shu got a bit boring after a while, but there's one character that I think is also a punching bag, but is even more annoying because he's actually hateable. It's like you wanna like hold him in your hand and just crush him. Do you know who that is?
Who?
Marika.
Claude.
Who?
Claude.
Oh, Claude.
Oh.
No,
Claude.
shut up. No, did you what did you just say, Tyson? What?
Marika.
No, we're going to have a talk later. So. Okay. Anyways, I think Claude, he's so annoying because I think his gags weren't funny. Weren't that funny to begin with, and later on you're just like, okay, not only is that not funny, but it's a dick move. It's a huge dick move. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Agree.
I know it's supposed to be a silly anime, but like, no matter how you look at it, that's just a huge, you know, like cock block and disrespect for Raku and Chitoge. I hate his character. He has no purpose in the anime whatsoever. I mean,
Well, he does
he's
have
only
a
there to-
purpose. He's the overprotective guardian of Chitoge.
yeah, but he's the asshole overprotected guardian that's used as a punching bag for humor and bad humor. I'd say at that, you know.
Well, I will agree on the bad humor part.
If I were to give an example of a good or somewhat better punching bag, I'd say Ruri. I mean, yeah, she's a source of comedy, right? That's used over and over and over again in the anime, but each time it's different, right? Each time she tries to push Onodera closer to Raku in a different way, right? So at least then, it's not the same thing. You don't know exactly what I expect from Ruri, right? So it's still funny even later on towards the end of the season, whereas Claude, it's the same thing all the time. He's always there with his binoculars on the tree. It never changes. It's not dynamic. His character's very much static. Now,
But what I found really funny about that is that like it came at the most like all these different times. It was just really funny because it's just like, oh, there he is. And like it got like it was very repetitive. I admit that. But like it was just funny where he was like in the most unexpected places, just watching you with that face.
He's creepy, to be honest.
Yeah, it was like that really funny kind of creepy.
When you put it that way, I find it difficult to disagree with because, as Kevin mentioned, Claude is not versatile. He's not dynamic. It's like his gag is composed over the same thing, and you realize. And I'm gonna jump on the boat here about saying Claude is a hateable character, and that part where that episode where Chitoge has a birthday and they're celebrating it at her mansion, where Claude comes to Raku and said, "Oh, look who the cat dragging, Master Raku. I'm afraid of giving my gift to the young miss now." Like, fuck you, Claude. Fuck you.
No, but I was so happy when he got completely destroyed.
Yeah.
He got,
Yeah.
Wait, what?
you know, remember when Claude presents the car to Chitoge and she's like, "I don't even have a license, bitch. You can take it back," and he just like dies.
Yeah.
I love that.
Chitoge's just like, talk to the hand, right? But overall, guys, to wrap things up about characters, what do you think of them? Because I think that there are certain moments where I feel that the characters are kind of 2D, to be honest. I feel that some of the characters, even some of the main ones, were defined by, they're very 2D because they had one defining trait, or rather one defining gag.
I think the reason that is, for me, from what I can see it, is the fact that there is too many characters. As Tashin mentioned before, how it originally should have been done, whether that's true or not. That actually kind of makes sense. If he did actually have, 3 characters in this love triangle, and obviously Tsugumi has comedic effect, I think that would have made it a lot more precise and a lot more you have a lot more character development. Yeah. I think so. Like the fact that it might be the case that all these other side characters were possibly maybe even supposed to be character traits for the original, let's say the Trinity.
Probably true.
And I think that's what it was, probably. And then, as you mentioned, Tyson, the editor was like, no, you have to make it a harem, whatever. So he was kind of forced to give it off to different characters. So I think it kind of should have been like that, in that sense. So I'm kind of disappointed by the fact that there isn't much character development because there is too many characters. Do you see what I mean?
It's very diluted. That's the word I just described.
It's diluted. It's like putting too much. Oh no, you guys don't have Ribena, so this is like a really shitty analogy. But it's like having squash. You know that juice? You just put too much water in it. It's like really concentrated juice, and you put too much water in it, and it just tastes like shit.
Yeah,
it's like that. It leaves a bitter taste in my mouth because, you could tell that these characters, if you really just took a lot of them out and just put their character traits into the other characters, or even focus on the other characters a lot more, then it would have been a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, the anime on a whole is kind of like Raku. It's really indecisive. It doesn't really have a direction that it knows that it wants to go to. It's just going everywhere.
It goes to pinpoint the issues that I have with Nisekoi as a whole, as a plot. Precisely, and I think you guys just made my case, basically, about why I say I love and hate Nisekoi, and when I hate like this plot that goes nowhere, I mean no. But I just want to go really briefly over characters because we're kind of sticking too much time into this. But this is supposed to be a war, so so character design. This is Shoff, so this is beautiful. Least favorite characters. I already said that that Claude was one. I find myself mixed with Shu because already Bish, Kevin and Joe said that they don't like him, but I'm still on the fence regarding Shu because I actually like his comedy bits, especially when he just tried to be the devilish part of trying to get.
The thing is, I liked them too. It's just that it got old. Like it's kind of like okay, like I get it. Like can we just like take a break from it at least?
It's a gag that's overplayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that.
If they had left it,
I can see where you're coming from, but I'm not ready to just make a statement regarding that. Oh, I hate you. I'm really on the fence of it regarding him.
okay.
As for I would say Raku is also least favorite character, but again, Heron 101, I can really hate Raku for that. As favorite characters, I would say Ruri is one because I also like her comedy. It's even more than Shu's.
Did you just say favorite character? Ruri.
Yeah.
Other than the best girls and stuff, that's for later, right?
Yeah, that's for
We're leaving
later.
those out.
That's very interesting, Tyson. That's all I'm gonna say.
Do you know the one scene that sold me on Ruri being I like you, I like you. If you remember the episode in which they're going to the
Festival?
no, it's not the festival. Is that oh my god, where they go outside? I can't.
It's very vague.
No. No, outside of school.
I also like that episode.
outside of school, where Shu just selects everybody in the group, and just Rudy's just pushing Onodera to make it to fall on Raku. To fall on Raku there.
The school thing. I know which one you're talking about. The one where they're in the forest, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, yes,
Exactly.
nice.
I love that part, especially when Rudy's just pushing Onodera to just be close to Raku, and then when the driver just goes left and right and just Rudy pushing Onodera, I'm like, oh my god, I like you.
Yeah, that's actually like why I really like Rui too, because it's like she's actually trying to get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. She's trying to make the plot go somewhere, you know? Like, a thumbs up to Ruri for that.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of sad when like the supporter is doing better than like the main character.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I think we should move on because
It's the best girl.
Hang on. Are you guys mentally prepared?
Should we cover best girl now?
I think we should.
Yes.
I want to.
Oh my god!
let's do this.
Unleash the cannons.
Okay, unleash the cannons.
Torpedoes armed and ready.
Guys, I'm guessing we all have different best girls. So this is going to be a straight up crazy thing.
Hang on,
But
can
let
we-
me just say.
Can we have more than one?
I'm going to have more than one.
Okay, phew. Good.
This is going to be crazy.
It's like Bish wants a heron for his home. It's not
I was
fair.
like, bitch is like, I think every girl except for Sugumi is best girl.
No, let me be honest with you. I have nothing against. I'm going to be very peaceful and very political here. I have nothing against everyone else's best girl. I have no problems with Sugumi or anything like that. And everyone, we have to mention this now. Everyone has their own opinions, so let's be civil about this.
No, this is a war.
Tsugumi sucks.
There's nothing civil about this. This is a war.
This is barbaric. This is like
man.
you get your hands dirty.
I'm trying to be Switzerland
You
here,
understand?
but
I've gotten my guns, my cannons. I've gotten the front of my ship
No.
ready.
Bish, you are the captain of the Gorilla Punch. You don't get to be civil. You go to
You don't
war.
take
with
prisoners.
all right
Exactly.
then. Let me say, okay. As you guys know, it's Chitoge, and the reason I say that is because she's first of all.
I love how you said that. It's like honestly, it's Chitoge.
It's Chitoge. It's because
No, the name I chose for his ship is already a reference to Chitoge.
It's obvious.
yeah. What I like about her, she gets first of all she gets picked on a lot. They call her, she's mentioned gorilla, whatever. And to me, she doesn't look like a gorilla.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt again. Remember that one scene where like Raku's giving Chitoge
The
a
gorilla.
present? It's
Yeah.
just the
I
gorilla.
died.
I loved it. I want that.
Wait,
gorilla
hang on.
plush.
But Bish, you know what you're saying.
Let me just say my fucking
Alright,
point.
alright.
Yeah, let him talk. Let
Okay,
him talk.
okay.
So what it was that the fact that obviously she gets kind of picked on a lot, so I kind of felt sympathy towards her at the beginning. It's also the fact that as a character, she has a very unique character design. Onodera and her sister look very similar. That's one thing. Obviously, that's the season 2 thing, but I'm not really going to mention it now. But she's very unique. I've never seen a character that has blonde hair with pink sort of tips on the hair. It's quite odd, which I never actually noticed before. It was very interesting. Also, she kind of reminds me of Taiga from Toradora, which obviously that anime has a lot of kind of thing to my heart. And I don't want to kind of spoil other animes that I've watched, but the way that she's kind of... She grows on Raku, in a sense, and Raku grows on her. Even though at the beginning they hated each other. It reminds me of other animes that I've seen, which I can't say, because if I say which animes they are, I will ruin the whole plot. So it kind of reminds me of that sense. So she's pretty much, for me, she's the best girl in that sense. Although, in terms of other stuff, my favorite character, best girl, has to be Ruri. And the reason I say that is because Ruri's just a bitch. And I just like bitches. There's something about it. It's the fact that she doesn't give any fucks, but at the same time she's very nice. As you mentioned, Tyson, trying to help Onodera out and whatever. It also reminds me of Taiga from Toradora. I'm making so many Toradora references because these two characters remind me of Taiga the most, and Taiga is, if you ever see my laptop, Taiga is my wallpaper.
Hang on, you said that Chitoge is like Taiga and Ruri is like Taiga as well?
Yes.
What?
It's very odd because Toradora is an anime which the characters are very well developed, unlike this anime. So I'm sorry for saying that, but it's true.
Yeah, I can agree at some points.
Regarding what Kunai is about, then yes, feel free to be as critical and as harsh you need to be about Nisekoi.
Yeah.
Even though it's my suggestion, I don't care.
It's not just about that. Like, I enjoy Nisekoi. It's just that thing is kind of something that I'm not really too sure about in terms of character development. I've already spoken about it, but those two characters themselves kind of make a Taiga. For me, that's why I have to have two best girls. And also the fact that Ruri has this, I don't know, I like glasses. It's just another thing. I just enjoy glasses. And she has really long hair. Taiga has really long hair. So it's also the fact that she's very tsundere. She's like she's so tsundere, it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, and I like that. I like that taste.
You like that taste?
I love that taste.
Oh, do you?
I'm just licking my lips. Oh, I'm not joking. No, that's too much. But yeah, no, I like how she acts, and I like how she's really. This is another thing that reminded me of Taiga, how she kind of treats friends. She's very loyal to Onodera, and she only wants the best for Onodera, similar to how Taiga wants the best for Minoru in Toradora. So that's what I like, and I enjoy that. And she looks to Onodera before herself. You see what I mean? She's very selfless as a character, yet at the same time she's a bitch towards Shu. She always kind of punches him out and nags at him or whatever. So that's what I like about those two characters. They are my favorites.
But let's be truthful here, bitch. You would definitely ship Ruri and Shu. You would definitely ship them.
How did you know? How did you know? I was going to get into that and I was going to be like, Ruri and Shu.
No, Tyson guessed my ship last time on the Denmachi episode. I think he's a psychic.
He should be director of ships now.
Yes.
Wait, hang on. Director of fanfics and director of ships now?
Yeah.
No. It should be a fancier title. It should be Master Shipbuilder. There you go.
No, Master Shipbuilder is Bish. Master Shipbuilder.
Yeah, that's me. You can't take that away from me. I was going to talk about other ships.
He can put that on his business card.
That's what I'm going to do.
So he's executive senpai of Gulp LLC and Master of Ships. All right.
My business card is going to be an A1 sheet of paper. Probably an A1 sheet of paper, just with different titles. There you go.
Both real and made up ones.
Yeah.
Eternal presidents of Get a Life podcast.
Eternal president one. So you're already wishing that bitch would die, so you can put that in his business card.
That wouldn't even be a business card anymore. That'd just be like a long sheet of paper.
Bitch just carry around like a golden plaque with him, with his credentials carved in them.
Oh my gosh.
Tyson would probably have to pay for that.
And just hand them out to every person he meets, you know?
Kevin, you just put the most serious image into my
No,
head.
but it should be like Bish, like, it should be a statuette, actually, with a plaque.
No, imagine Bish with like a bunch of chains, gold chains, and it's just like a giant plaque that just says, "I'm the man."
No. Yeah, it should be a plaque, but on the plaque, it should be a statue, right? Of Bish surrounded by, like, his best girls and, like,
Oh my God.
killing a bear or something, you know, in a heroic pose.
No, and not any statue. One of Bish being in David's body with a massive wang.
Tyson, don't say that. We already know how big my wang is. Don't say it online.
No, you already said it.
Okay.
You already said it.
Well, I don't know why Tyson knows how big Bish's wang is. I don't want to find out.
I don't know how he knows.
But he said it. But he said it.
Kevin, see, he is a dirty man.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Tyson, I'll let you talk about your ships. Not your ships. Sorry, your best girl.
All right, it's not a secret. So unlike Kevin and Joe, it's not a secret that my best girl is Sugumi, and there's something about kuderes that appeal to me. And unlike Kevin, that he tries to play the joke on me that I only like girls who have short hair or blue hair or both.
Tyson only likes girls that are
That
like
cross
Naoto.
dress, you forgot the important part.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
That is true.
No,
Yes,
Well,
I'm noticing a pattern here.
That's
you
why I
can't
think
deny
you're gonna
it.
enjoy Yukimura.
Yes.
Haganai.
No comment.
No, Kevin.
No
you
comment.
Know, you know what Tyson likes? Tyson likes
Yes,
every girl
basically.
that acts just like Naoto.
True. He likes girls with guns.
I can
Yeah.
respect that.
Blue girls with guns.
Smurfs? No? Okay.
Oh my god, this is gonna follow me for the rest of my podcasting career. That I like girls with blue hair and guns. Anyway, I not only do I find that Sugumi is cute, but I will say one bad thing about Sugumi, and I have to be consistent in this.
Oh my god.
What the hell is it?
Gasp.
It's just the way you said that. It's like, not only is Sugumi cute, but it's like, is the voice you said it in.
Wait, what?
It was a full-on, like, fangirl, Tyson's fangirl voice right there. Like, we need to see this
Oh
side
my
of Tyson
God.
more on the podcast. Who thinks that?
Tyson, continue, please.
There is one thing that I will say about Sugumi, and I have to be consistent about this. What's up with the big boobs? Do we really?
You have to realize, Tyson. All characters with guns and who are also tomboys and have blue hair have big boobs. Naoto, same.
Naoto doesn't have big boobs.
Tyson.
Yes, she does.
You need to
If you watch the
understand, every
animation,
girl-
wait. If you watch the animation, Persona 4 the animation, he says, "Who? Fun bags?" He does say that, and it is mentioned throughout the animation of Persona 4 and throughout the games.
You know, the thing is that I've been very vocal about my dislike of girls with big boobs, and you're trying to circle all of this like, oh, but your choice of girls are all around big boobs. Do you expose me as a boob man? And like, not only I'm not a boob
No,
man,
but-
I'm not a pervert. It's not like I'm not noticing
Bish.
about that. I'm not noticing that in my choice of best
Tyson
girl.
does not like big boobs, unless those big boobs are attached to a blue-haired girl with the guns that is a tomboy. Am I right?
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah, exactly.
exception.
You three are gonna pick on me for eternity.
Tyson, I'll give you a serious answer. I think it's just like a recurring thing. Like every girl I've seen, like in a show or like a game or something that binds, usually ends up being the one of the biggest knockers.
Knockers.
What?
Oh gosh.
Wait, what?
That's a weird term.
Continue, Joe. Continue.
Well, because I just noticed it a lot. It's like every girl that binds ends up like being the one with
The biggest rack, right?
with the biggest.
Oh, you just say it, Joe. Just say it. I mean,
I love how Joe refrains himself from saying tits or boobs. I love it.
He did say knockers though, but
That's still in euphemism.
just picture Shia LaBeouf. Just say it.
Yeah, he's being a sundate about it.
No,
He's being
that's called
sundate
being a
about it.
gentleman. Jeez, get it right.
That's not being a knockers is such a vulgar word.
It's better than like tits.
No, tits sounds really English. Tits. Yeah, like Cockney London. Tits. It's like, yeah, I'll have a bag of fish and chips. It's that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Tits. That's what it's like.
Oh gosh.
It's not like knockers. Knockers sounds really degrading.
But anyway, it's like the most vain reason for liking a girl, but I'm not above that. So yeah, Sugumi is cute, end of story.
Wait, hang
That's
on.
why
Just
I like
because
her.
of that?
Fair enough.
Yes.
Wait, you don't have any other justification other than about her like personality? Oh, you are a shallow person, sir. You are shallow.
With that logic, every girl would be best girl.
That's true.
No,
I agree.
Can I explain?
By that logic, Onodera would be best girl for me because she is the cutest.
Every woman character in this show is cute. I will say that. But the fact that I say that my choice for Tsugumi as best girl is shallow is just that she's not giving enough screen time. I mean, she's not part of the main harem.
She has no reason to.
Exactly. I mean, you want to see more of her.
Technically, yes, and regarding to that, she may be the biggest Chitoge and Raku shipper, while she may still being conflicted about it herself. But then again,
she's only shipping because she's obliged to. Yet at the same time, she wants to be part of that ship. She wants to secretly be Chitoge. That's from what I can see.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And also, I don't know if I'm thinking anybody's ships here. Joe, Kevin, worst girl, Marika, definitely Marika. I
Bitch.
fucking
What? No,
Joe,
bitch,
Joe, no, Joe.
No, Kevin, I'm sorry, but I agree with Tyson for once. Like Martika, if you like Martika, then I can't respect your opinions.
Whoa. What the?
I'm gonna have to wait.
No.
I'm calling in the cavalry here. Kevin,
Okay.
I agree with you.
Oh
Marika's
my
not
god,
a
no,
shit
here it comes.
That's what I was gonna say. There was no but. Marika's just not a shit character. I like her, and
Oh
I
my
like,
god.
I'm not gonna say your opinions are shit because you like Marika, and to be honest, it was predictable, very predictable.
I actually predicted that she would be that Kevin would go for Chitoge. The fact that he went for Marika, I'm like, yeah, you guys can't see it, but I'm actually lifting my middle finger at the screen and pointing it at Kevin's avatar.
No, actually, can I actually say something serious now? It's like actually, while we were talking about this podcast, as we were like breaking down everything, we were talking about Marika. Actually, I'm starting to like her a little more than I did before.
Yes.
To be honest.
Join
No,
me.
but you like her out of pity because she's sick. Not that you like.
No,
not
don't,
that you like her
don't put
character.
words in his mouth, Tyson. You can't do that to Joe.
But she's really funny. She's really
She's very funny. She has a lot of comedic effect. She kind of reminds me of Chie.
She's okay. She's annoying. Like she comes over. She like appears over and over again. But like once during those times, she ends up being funny. It's kind of like I'm not saying she's a good character, but like I'm not gonna say she's shit.
Bish,
she's a goofy shit.
No, Bish, don't compare Marika to Chie.
I have to.
Don't do it because
Wait, Chie? What?
Chie.
That doesn't make sense.
No, because it does.
Wait, guys, wait. Bish, what did you just say?
I said that she reminds me of Chie.
Okay, whoa, objection.
Screw you. You have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, hang on. Let's have a vote here.
Let me
All right.
explain myself.
Who thinks that they disagree?
You guys are all gonna gangbang me, and that's fine. I'm ready. My body is ready for that.
She's not like Chie.
That was
at
not
all.
PG-13, Bish. That was not
This
PG-13
isn't
at
a
all.
PG-13 podcast. You should know that.
Chie could care less.
Just because you
No.
mentioned
Less about
gangbang, I can
her.
sense the feminists coming. I can sense them coming already.
Oh gosh.
Anyway.
Oh god.
So what I was gonna say was that Chie, first of all, they look. I wouldn't say they look similar. No, they don't. They have similar hairstyles, although Marika does have that kind of longer bit coming down.
And I thought I was Bane.
No. Listen, please. Also, she kind of has that kind of comedic effect. Chie does it by accident most of the time. I'll be honest with you. Chie has just comedic effect for just by accident. But Marika also has that as well, and you need that character. You know, that's another thing. Also, that's it. She reminds me of Chie in that way. It's very vague, but that's how I make the connection.
Alright. Okay, Bish, power to you. I'm done.
Okay.
Just
I
I'm done.
agree there, but because you gave us all the impression, I think, that they were very similar
No,
characters.
they're not. They're not very similar characters.
In terms of personality
No, in
and
terms
stuff.
of personality,
Okay.
they're not the same at all. But I mean, like in terms of character
Alright.
design and obviously the fact that they're both comedic characters. That was a very long stretch, but obviously that's what I feel. Another thing is I like her as a character. I don't think she's shit, because she isn't. She's very funny at times. Yes, she's a bit annoying, but she's not as annoying as other characters I've seen in different animes. So I'll be honest.
Yeah, like as of now, I think she's like an alright character for me. Like she's like mediocre.
Whoa, that changed quickly. That went from shit character to mediocre. I mean, I'm proud of you, Joe. I'm proud of you.
Well, I mean, what like you talk about it and then like you just stuff changes.
But I think Tyson's a hypocrite, though.
Why am I a
Alright.
hypocrite? Why?
Okay, you're like...
Guys, please let me just finish my point. She's very like, I don't know. She's very calculating. Very like, she knows what she's doing. She completely knows. She knows how to get him. Like she can try her hardest. Another thing is, she's very cute.
Yes.
I'll be honest. She, other than Onodera, a very cute character. I think she's one of the cutest. There's something about her. What is the word? It's not Sundara. It's the one when they kill people. I forgot the name.
Yandere?
Yes.
Yandere?
She kind of reminds me of. She's very Yandere.
No, she is a yandere.
She is.
What?
She
No.
is, and I like
She's
that
like
as well.
crazy. What?
No, she is. She is.
No.
She is a
She
yandere.
is. She is.
No, like she was willing to kill anybody.
No,
that
I
tried-
wouldn't. Not to that extent, but she shows.
She's like overly attached girlfriend. That's what I picture her as.
No, hang on. Bish, are you finished with your point or you still need more time?
No, I'm finished with my point.
Okay, because Kevin calls me a hypocrite, and
I'll
I recall.
explain.
No, hang on, because I remember saying in the past that I hated yanderes, and that's still true to today. And then Kevin went on to agree with me, saying that he hates yanderes and he likes Marika. Who's the hypocrite
Marika
now?
is not yandere. If you think... No, I'm sorry, but you have to be insane to think that Marika is yandere. Because
Marika's a
yandere is
yandere.
like... Okay, have you watched Mirai Nikki? That's yandere.
Guys, bear in mind that they wouldn't have a Yandere character in this anime to that extent where they kill
Exactly.
other people.
I
Mainly
completely
because
disagree.
that, obviously, if they don't have the Yakuza killing other people in this anime, why would you have Yanderes? But at the same time, she does actually exhibit Yandere qualities, and I think the only thing that stops her from becoming Yandere is the fact that obviously.
So the answer to like is Marika a yandere? It'd be yes and no,
Yeah.
because it's like she shows some of the qualities, but she's not exactly a yandere per se.
Yeah, she's not a full Yandere. She doesn't kill people, but at the same time, she does show qualities of a Yandere character. Hence why I'm saying she's Yandere.
Okay, and another thing that I don't want to let this go pass by. The fact that Bish compared Chie, a character I'm alright with. She's not my best Persona 4 girl, but I'm alright with Chie to Marika, a character that I'm not okay with it at all.
You're
And
such a hypocrite. Oh
and I
my
kind of have
god.
the same views with Joe as to Marika becoming a mediocre character, but that involves me getting into the manga, and this is not about the manga.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna roll full steam with the whole I hate Marika, she's a yandere, that's it.
But Tyson, let me tell you why
Okay,
I think you're kind of a hypocrite
Kevin.
though. Here, it's because you like Sugumi, but you dislike Marika, and they're both very undeveloped characters that do not have much screen time, you know. And I don't see how you could like Sugumi, but at the same time hate Marika, because you know they're kind of similar in the sense, you know, of their roles in
No,
the anime. In the
they're
first
not.
season, no, in the first season, okay, I'll explain. In the first season, Marika only shows up for the last, I think it was 5 episodes, right? And even though Tsugumi is introduced early on, she doesn't show up often either, right? I don't know what exactly about Marika makes you hate her so much, but I think that, yeah, she's not, you know, the most developed character, but she's funny, you know?
No, precisely the fact that she's too pushy. That's what I hate. That's what makes a yandere in my mind.
Yeah, but that's not
That's
full
like, that's like one of the traits. So that you're willing to say that Marika is not a yandere to justify your decision for best girl is just absolutely outrageous.
No,
I'm firing
because-
a missile to your ship right now. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. This is why I think Marika is one of the best characters. It's just that because, you know, she has such great comedic value. The fact that, you know, she has a very soft...
Like Chie?
Yes. She has a soft, very ladylike side, and then when she gets pissed, she has this full-on different accent and, like, different, you know, attitude. And it's just frigging hilarious in my point of view, right?
Another thing is, Marika kind of reminds me of Scrappy Doo.
Don't know who that is. What anime?
Scrappy Dappy Doo.
You have never seen Scooby-Doo in your life, Kevin.
Scooby-Doo?
Scrappy Dappy Doo.
Yeah, Scrappy Dappy Doo. Scooby-Doo. You know Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I know Scooby Doo.
Isn't it? Don't you
Oh
mean
my
Scooby
God.
Dooby Doo?
No, Scrappy Dappy Doo.
Oh, Scrappy Doo is like the
nephew.
smaller one. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Scrappy
I don't
Doo.
care about him. I
Let me at him. No, you don't. No?
yeah, I remember him now. But
Marika reminds me of that.
Oh.
She's like, let me at him. That's what she's like.
and Tyson, you weren't completely wrong when you made your guess with the ships, because actually with the best girl, because I mean, I do think Chitoge is also one of the best girls. But I'll be honest, in the first few episodes, she was a bitch, okay? I think we can all agree on this, that she's being a bitch to Raku. I mean, she's being really self-entitled, and despite what he was trying to do to be nice, she still rejected him and, you know, was just being really disrespectful, you know?
Precisely the reason why I hate Chitoge in season 1.
Yeah, but she changes, though. I think that she changes later on in the season. She becomes, you know, she warms up to him, right? So she changes.
No, but at least how I see it, I still hated Chitoge by the end of season 1. It's in season 2 when I started to warm up to her.
Each to their own, really.
Oh, I haven't said my best and worst girl yet. Alright, so, I think it goes without saying, my best girl was Onodera. I just thought she was super cute, she was really kind, I really liked her personality. She was really kind to everybody, she wasn't trying to be mean to everybody.
She's one of the few normal characters, I have to say. She's the only one that's really normal.
Yeah, she was
you know,
really normal, and it's I really felt like she was the one that should be with Raku.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll get on to ships later, but yeah, I definitely agree.
I think the comparison between Onodera and Shie is more apt than Shie and Marika.
No.
What?
No,
What? No,
No,
Tyson,
sorry.
no.
No, Tyson, that doesn't work either.
No, in the fact that Onodera's more normal than the rest of the other characters.
Chie is far from normal.
She's a very, to me, I wouldn't say Yukiko at all, but it would be the closest would be Yukiko, in the sense that Yukiko doesn't really talk to guys at all, really.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I think that'd be
that
better. Would be a better thing. I still don't think you can really compare Onodera to actually any other character. She's very unique in the sense that she's super shy. And that's obviously, I can understand why you like that, Joe, because I like that as well. It's very nice to see a character that really, she cares about others to such an extent where she kind of, you know, she's like, okay, cool, I know this person likes this other person, I'll just take a seat.
And
It's very nice.
and for my worst girl, I'm gonna have to drop the nuke on Tyson.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
it was Marika.
Jisugumi.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. It was just that her introduction was interesting, where she was supposed to hunt down Raku because she's dating Chitoge, but after that, it just got really, 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 really boring.
I agree.
Because it's she just did the same thing over and over again. It's she saw him, she got mad. She talked about her feelings for her, or for him, and she told it all to herself. And when somebody tried to interfere, she just beat the crap out of them.
I think that in Tyson's defense, I can't believe I'm actually defending Tyson here, but I mean, in his defense and in Tsugumi's defense, I think that her character was not done justice in the first season, or I haven't watched the second season, but I think that the author kind of left her with the short end of the stick, whereas she was introduced, right, and she was present for like a few episodes after she was introduced, and then she kind of like dropped off the map, and then only reappeared later in very minor moments. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that she did anything notable from her like from the episode after she was introduced until like Chitoge's birthday, where she popped up again out of like nowhere. You know?
Yeah, but still, that's like a big flaw. Like, if she's supposed to be one of like if she's supposed to be one of the 5 girls,
but she
like,
isn't.
well,
She's like a side, right? She didn't have a key, right? So
Yeah, Tsugumi doesn't have a key.
but I still think that she could be a potentially interesting character if there was more time spent focusing on her. And this brings me back to what Bish said earlier about this anime being very diluted, right? A lot of characters have a potential to be interesting, but because there isn't much time that is spent on their background and their personality, we never get to fully explore their characters, right?
well, yeah, that makes sense, but it's like, but then like once you get down to her personality, and it's just like I feel like I'm looking at like I feel like I'm listening to like some music on repeat over and over again.
That was the same critique you made of Shu, basically.
Yeah, the side characters in this anime, I think, other than Ruri, are particularly weak. I don't know.
But it's like Tsugumi isn't my least favorite character. She's just like my least favorite girl. Like Shu, like is like my least favorite because like I said before, like I was really interested in like Tsugumi's backstory, like about like how like she's like this like person sent by like Chitoge's family, like to deal with Raku.
I mean, I wish they explored that more though, right? Because I mean, they briefly mentioned how she was affiliated with Chitoge.
Yeah, if they explored it more, it'd probably be better. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So
I could make a case on why I like Sugumi's pace of comedy better than any other character, but then again, I'm biased and we be going in circles. So,
yeah.
Bish?
One thing that I would like to mention is that I've never seen season 2, but I can probably assume how it would go. The fact that they introduce more characters into season 2, and the fact that it's only 12 episodes, I could already tell from now that characters like Tsugumi is probably not going to get any more character development than she did in season 1.
Yeah.
And I haven't even seen season 2. Whether that's the case or not, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, no.
Oh, is it?
No, no.
I know I said that earlier on that I prefer the episode in which Raku and Onodera are alone at the shop. It's because the Tsugumi episode in season 1 doesn't make justice. It was actually the Tsugumi episode in season 2 that actually got my heart running. Like favorite episode ever.
Even I can agree with that. Like they showed a lot of like Tsugumi stuff in that episode.
That's
So
surprising.
how can they kind of focus more on character development in season 2 when they have more episodes in season 1 and less characters?
Actually, to answer your question, they introduced two new characters, and again, going back to the critique in the beginning, it completely loses its way. Like that's why I keep mentioning that at least if Nisekoi season 2 makes an appearance on Get a Life Podcast Kunai, it's not gonna be my suggestion, because I actually think that season 2, even I love it. I love the show because it's Shoff. Shoff does good work, but as a plot, I'm sorry, it just doesn't fly. I prefer Nisekoi season 1 to season 2, and I'm jumping segments again, but I just feel that strongly about it.
So yeah, now I'm going to get on to ships, and we've already mentioned it before. Tyson somehow read my mind in terms of the Ruri and Shu ship, but obviously I don't want to say this, but I actually ship Onodera and Raku. That's just, I don't do that.
Thank you, Bish.
And I know Chitoge is best girl for me, but that's why I ship Onodera and Raku so hard. Another ship that I think really works, and please don't kill me for this, don't crucify me for this, Ruri and Onodera.
Ruri Onodera.
What?
Ruri and Oradera. It kind of reminds me of the. I'm going back to Persona here. Chie and Yukiko.
I don't see them that way, basically.
No, it kind of reminds me of this kind of Chie and Yukiko kind of ship.
Yeah, they're basically friends. They're friends.
Yeah, but that's why you ship them. I think they would make a really lovely couple.
No, the thing with ships is that my mind goes to sexual relations, and
it doesn't need to. It's about relationships, and I think they can succeed and probably have a fruitful relationship. I think.
But about relations, I don't see how their personalities would I don't see how they're compatible because
I think they could.
Yeah, I mean, Shu always pisses off Fururi, right? And that's shown multiple times throughout the series. So maybe as a tongue-in-cheek ship, maybe, but as a serious ship, I don't think it would.
No, I'm not
work,
talking about that one. I'm talking about mainly the Onodera one. I think that one is more of a joke ship, and I think that one's just done because they do have the conflicts towards each other, and usually in romantic comedies, when characters do have conflicts towards each other, they tend to have the best relationships. I don't want to reference other anime because if I do, I'll spoil the anime plot, and people are probably gonna figure out what I'm talking about. But the whole Onodera and Ruri ship, I think, because Ruri is so loyal to Onodera, and the fact that she will make Onodera first in everything. Everything she does is for her benefit, not for herself's benefit, which I enjoy. And I think that's something. I think that's how relationships should kind of work, in the sense that you're doing something for the other person, not necessarily for yourself. So I think they are my most favorite ship, even more so than Onodera and Raku. But there you go. What do you think, Joe?
I gave you some respect for Oh, you mean for my for my ships? They count what I think of ships. Honestly, they're pretty like the normal ones, really, like Raku and Onodera, and maybe like Raku and Chitoge and Raku and I don't know, like Rui and Shu maybe. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. Like, I can't really think of anything creative with like this show.
Kevin?
I have to follow up on that. Yeah, I mean, my favorite ship, well, put quotation marks around favorite ship here would be Onodera and Raku, not because I really am rooting for them. It's just it's the only way you can do it. Like I mentioned earlier, with Raku liking Onodera and Onodera liking Raku.
You're kind of forced into that ship.
You kind of forced. Yeah, exactly. It's forced on you by the show. Unfortunately, you can't. It doesn't really work any other way.
But at the same time, Kevin, to kind of dispute that, I think that it kind of forces you towards that. But at the same time, the fact that he doubts himself in regards to that ship, and the fact that the show kind of forcefully puts Chitoge and Raku together in this kind of false love situation. The anime is called False Love for a reason, because these two are the main characters. So the way I'm seeing it is that, yes, you are being forced into the whole Onodera thing, but I think that could be a curveball.
But honestly though, I have a feeling that Raku doubting himself is just there for the sake of the harem aspect. Because if he didn't doubt himself, then there would be no harem.
But bear in mind, if there wasn't the whole Chitoge, this anime wouldn't be called False Love.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. I think that's a curveball. We've seen it in other romantic animes, Golden Time being one of them. So you're being thrown a curveball. I think that's just for the people to kind of chew on for a bit, and then it's like, bam, this is what we really wanted to do. So that's what I think in terms of that. Tyson?
Okay, so even though I'm resigned to my fate that I'm never gonna see the ship materialize, definitely Sugumi and Raku. I resign myself to my fate that I'm never gonna see this happen. Even though if Raku is up for it, Sugumi would be all like, you know what? Let's keep things the way they are. Although that won't stop me from cheering on her. Let's see who else. obviously the Raku and Onodera one is kind of obvious. Let's see, who would I ship? Someone else. I could see the Chitoge and Onodera ship working. If I'm gonna just take, I mean, this is my own personal view on ships, like relationships and everything, into intimacy rather. I could definitely hang with them just being together. I mean, I believe they get more. I can't remember off memory, but I do believe that they get more screen time in season 2, like Chitoge and Onodera just talking each other as friends. That's pretty much it.
I sort of agree with you there, but I'm sort of like neutral because I mean I kind of had that thought while I was watching the anime, but you know, thinking like in hindsight, I think that for me it's more of like a joke ship. It's not something that I think would actually happen, right? They're more like good friends, in my opinion. I don't think that would actually be a plausible thing. You know what I mean?
Do you feel the same with the Ruri and Onodera ship? Because I'm basically saying the same opinion Bish had, just with different characters.
For the Ruri and Onodera ship, I don't think it's a thing for me, mainly because Ruri was such a punching bag character for the jokes that I can't really see her in a serious, you know, point of view. So shipping her with someone I just don't see it happening, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can kind of see what Kevin's saying. Like, she's more like the joke character than she is like serious. It's hard to take her seriously,
you know?
Okay.
Like, she wasn't really like a part of the plot. She was kind of like the side character.
No, that's what I see. Like, Ruri is not part of the harem. She's just there because she wants to support Onodera. In a way that Tsugumi is the biggest Raku and Raku and Chitoge shipper, Ruri is the biggest Raku and Onodera shipper there ever is. So I guess in a way in that we're even. Alright, so with ships out of the way, let's just get quickly into the audio-visual component. Guys, what do you think?
In terms of the audio, for me, it was very, like I said, refreshing. The soundtrack wasn't something I would remember, not something like Toradora. I know I'm referencing Toradora all the time, but obviously this is a romance anime, so I'm always going to compare it to what I know. Toradora has some rememberable themes. Nisekoi doesn't, in terms of their soundtrack. Although I do like Nisekoi in terms of the opening themes, not so much the ending themes, because they are Clarice or whatever however you like to pronounce it. It's a schoolgirl band, and they recently, I think this was one of their last sort of performances together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they had a new member. It was, I think both of their members, one of them was Claire and Alice. Was it Claire? Clara, sorry. Clara and Alice. Hence
no,
why they were
Clara and Karen. I just pulled them off their profiles.
No, Karen is the new one.
Oh, Karen is the new one. Okay.
Yes. So
okay.
Alice, hence why it was called Clarice. So you had Clara and you had Alice.
Oh, Alice. Now I see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And they're still called Clarice, despite the fact that Karen came in.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Okay.
So she, if you know Oremo, they do the soundtrack for. They do the opening and the ending themes for Oremo as well. So it's something I knew, and also the fact that this was one of their kind of last sort of things together as the original Clarice. So I found it even more impactful. I also like it because it's very upbeat, and I usually go on the train listening to it, or I work out. This is actually my workout song, especially.
I love that. I really love that. The fact that the Clarice song pops in just when I'm ready to watch this romantic comedy gets me pumped up. Actually,
yeah, it does. Especially Step.
I'm personally a fan of the first one. I don't know what's it called. What is it?
The first song was Click.
Click, yeah. I'm more a fan of Click myself.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one with the paper plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The thing is, Step for me was very more upbeat. Like that's the song in particular that I like to run to or whatever. It's like it had so much more emotion. Anyway, that's all I have to say in regards to audio.
Oh, by the way, guys, the ending songs are basically character songs. It first started with Chitoge, I think Heartbeat is the second season one. A Heart Pattern is the Chitoge one. I don't remember what the Onodera one is called, but that was up next. Then it's Sugumi, and then with Trickbox, and Marika was the last one. I don't remember the name of her song. Any particular preference regarding that, bitch?
I don't like the ending music.
None of the four. None of the four.
I'm not really a big fan of ending music, to be honest, because I'll be honest with you, I don't really listen to end music. I only listen to it like probably once, or I really zone out for it because I look for the next episode. I don't really watch that bit. I know it's disappointing, but for me the end music doesn't get me hyped. It just gets me. Sometimes it makes me feel sad that the episode's ended, so I don't really pay attention to it. When you hear the beginning, for me, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get hyped for this episode. That's how it is, to be honest, with every anime.
It is disappointing because because ending are basically character songs, and I wanted to hear your opinion on those. But moving on,
my opinion's the same. It's just like they're all the same to me, really.
I thought the opening and the endings were pretty nice. It was cheery. Like they were all. I like how all the endings were very different. It's something I've never really seen in a show besides the Monogatari series.
Yeah, we wish also Shelf had done.
Yeah, we wish you guys would watch. It's amazing, and yeah, I love them enough to save them onto my phone.
Huh.
Yeah, and yeah.
Kevin?
Pardon? Well, I find that the opening and endings, I mean, the opening was alright. It was good. I'd say 8 out of 10. It was upbeat, it was nice, but it was nothing outstanding, right? It wasn't enough for me to not skip it when I was watching the episodes. It didn't really hook me in. The ending, gotta go with Bish here. Personally, I do occasionally watch endings, but only if they hook me. Only if the first few seconds after the episode ends drags me in with, good music. If not, then I just kind of lose interest and just go on to the next episode, And overall, the music, I have to say, in Nisekoi, it was not something memorable,
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm going to save and download to my music player. It's not something that made me stop and go whoa, that music really complemented this particular scene, It's just decent. It's not bad, it's not great, it gets the job done. That's all I have to say, really.
Alright, so, hey Joe, maybe I missed it, but did you mention what was your favorite ending?
My favorite ending?
Or did you really pay attention Bish and Kevin?
Yeah, I didn't really because I love endings. I do listening to the ending of every show, except for in some cases Danmachi.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I just listening to music in general. I really love it. So, but even then, I didn't really pay attention to the endings. I just oh hey, they're good music. So
and that's the thing that I want to point out regarding Bish and Kevin's appreciation to overall appreciation to endings. It's just that you're assuming that the ending is all the same. In regards to Nisekoi, I already said that it's character songs, so it has happened on other shows. I don't know if Danmachi had the same ending throughout, for instance. Bakantes also changed the ending as well, but it was mid-season or something like that. In regards to Nisekoi, surprise, surprise, I like Sugumi's character song the best, with second best being Marika's.
Oh, I'm actually shocked.
I know you may be surprised regarding that. I hate Marika, but I actually like her song. I actually like her character song. The melody, well, I can't really say lyrics because I don't understand Japanese for shit, but I'm gonna stick with that. Trickbox is first, Marika's the second. If I really must give a rating to Chitoge Onodera's, would be I think I like Onodera's better than Chitoge's. I think because the Seiyu's singing voice is so calm to listen to, and the song itself was a beat that I kind of like Onodera's character song better in that respect.
Yeah, the thing is with these endings, like it's one of those few times where like I'm kind of like pretty equal with like the multiple ending songs, because like there are like very few times where I do that. Well, like example with being like the Monogatari series, like I think it's like the only time actually. Like this is like the second time, and but yeah. And in response to Bish, I forgot to say earlier, there is one memorable tune from the show. Like remember that one tune is just like do 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 do.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
That kind of reminded me of K-On!
I find that it's sort of memorable, but I find that it felt sort of generic comedy music.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else feels
yeah,
like
I agree.
it's like.
No, I can see what you mean. I can definitely see what you mean.
So that's probably why it didn't stand out to me that much.
Yeah, I can't really say that like it's unique, but like I can't say like it got stuck in my mind.
It is stuck on my mind. I don't know. I don't know. I love it. Although I do see where Kevin comes from. That is just generic comedy music. All right. So, any comments on the video part of the show?
Oh, I have one.
Okay.
Same here.
I have some. Well, I'm gonna start off with saying like, I really love the animation. Like it was really gorgeous to look at.
It's Shaft.
Yeah, like Shaft anime is like guaranteed to look good. And
Shaft can take any project and even the shittiest one, and they will make it look great. I think Shaft has that power.
yeah, and like they had like the same like goofy expressions when like somebody's surprised or like angry and stuff. And then like there's this one art style, well not art style, like there's like these animation sequences like when they're doing spit takes, it kind of looks like they're holding a stick with like a cardboard cutout of like them spitting out water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like instead of like actual water, it's just like somebody holding a stick. That's actually really creative. I like that.
I believe that wasn't on the manga. That's purely Shaft. That's purely Shaft style.
Yeah, chef style.
Kevin?
Yeah, so I found the animation, it was pretty nice. I mean, it looked smooth, crisp and stuff, but the main thing I wanted to talk about in terms of the animation and / art style here is this is my first anime I think that I've seen from Shaft. So
Really?
I don't know. Yes. Well, unless I can't think of any other anime that I've watched from them.
Even if you watch Shaft older stuff, like anything from Bakemonogatari previous and back, you'll see, is this really a Shaft anime? Because any of the shows that you will see from Bakemonogatari forward that comes from Shaft, they have their own distinct style, just very pronounced throughout the whole animation.
Is that style still present in this?
Yeah, Nisekoi has a very distinct Shaft style. I'm just making that point.
All right.
Because
my question was
because I've been rewatching. I've been rewatching Mariaholic, which was my first Shaft anime, and one produced before Bakemonogatari. So that's why I say that when I started watching Mariaholic, I did saw some elements of that Shaft style, and it was done by the same director. I will make a point of this. It was done by the same director who did Nisekoi, but it wasn't as, I would say, outlandish, extravagant as some of the recent projects that I've seen of Nisekoi, and that's purely direction. Even though to the point where I was watching Mariaholic and I was like, is this really a Shaft anime? Because I don't see anything that made Shaft so iconic recently, to be honest.
no, but thank you for answering, because the point I wanted to bring up is while I was watching Nisekoi, there's that one moment where I literally paused and took a screen count because I was like, okay, what the fuck is up with all of these damned sparkles, alright? And I was wondering if that was part of their style. I don't know if you guys noticed, like, the crazy amount of, like...
Yeah, it is part of the style.
Okay, because, I mean, it really stood out after a while. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Personally, I think that when looking at the screen cap that I took now, it looks like it kind of gets in the way of you appreciating the art, because all you can see on the screen are just flashes and sparkles and bubbles everywhere, you know? It kind of distracts you.
That's the thing about Shaft, is that their style is rather divisive. Either you love Shaft or you hate Shaft. It's rather divisive, and even within the anime community. There is something that I noticed, because Nisekoi has a lot of internal dialogue, like Raku talking to himself, or just the viewers just listening to thoughts of the characters that is speaking at the moment. And I didn't notice there was a clear divide between when I'm hearing the characters speak and when I'm hearing an internal monologue. And you may think that the subtitles and part of the animation gives it away, but it's like the filter. How can I best describe it? Sorry, I'm just trying to think of a way how would I describe it. It's just that it kind of hears like it's like you take a voice and you pull it back to the background, and it has this kind of reverb, echoey kind of feel. I didn't saw that in Nisekoi. It was at times difficult for me to say when was I hearing an internal dialogue and when I was hearing the character speak. And that's about it. Sorry, I don't really have to say anything about the art side of the animation. It's Shaft. I love it. Bish, do you want to say something, or should we just move on?
The one thing I noticed, maybe I'm getting completely confused with different anime. I've noticed that there was a lot of kind of pop arty elements within like how they draw backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like you see like little circles kind of actually create the whole background, which is quite interesting for me. I've never actually seen that in anime. It's very unique. That's all I have to say about the animation style. As you mentioned, it is a Shaft anime. There's that Shaft angle as well that is very prevalent within this anime. You see it all the time. A lot of characters do it, mainly Chitoge, from what I can see.
Wait.
Or
What is this Shaft angle you're talking about?
It's an angle that if you would try and do it in real life, you probably snap your neck.
Exactly.
You mean where like somebody turns around, like a girl turns around but like bends like this and smirks?
Pretty much. You know
Like the owl head thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what it is. You can't do it in real life, but fair enough.
You know, I remember this one Shaft anime, like a Shaft anime short that I saw. Like, it's supposed to be a Kid Icarus Uprising short, and like Palutena does the same thing. Like, she turns around and she bends back and she just smiles. It's a Kid Icarus Uprising short. Like, it's not like an actual anime. It's kind of like just like a 6-minute short.
Yeah, I think it's the one that was aired on, was it the 3DS's video service?
It was aired around the time Kid Icarus Uprising was releasing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall it right now. I can probably look it up, but there you go.
Yeah, and you should check it out. It's pretty good.
Was it done before Bakemonogatari?
I'm not sure. It was released in 2012.
Oh yes, after Bakemonogatari. Then they probably has, like I was mentioning, all the stuff that makes Shaft so different. Anyway, Bish, you want to please continue?
That's pretty much what I was gonna say in regards to that. Yeah.
All right. Anybody got any gripes and grumbles? I kind of already
I
think
we've kind of mentioned the gripes and grumbles.
Yeah.
Really. I think we should move on to what. Well, you guys have seen second season.
Yeah.
Me and Kevin
Yeah.
haven't. Just purely from first season, I really want to see what happens in second season. Although at the same time, from what I hear about everyone else saying it, I put myself off from watching second season. Normally, I would watch it straight away, but obviously there's so much hype in regards to it. I just want it to die down, and then I would get to watching it. Really. And another thing is, would I recommend this anime to a friend? It depends. If it's someone like me who likes romantic anime, fair enough, yes. But if it's someone that is new to anime, this is just completely confusing. I can't just throw someone in the deep end for that. So I honestly, I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. I think if you're into romance and harems and all of that, go for it.
Yeah, it's definitely like you either love it or hate
Yeah,
it.
it's like Marmite. Actually, no, you guys don't know what Marmite is. Shit.
Isn't that Australian stuff or
Yeah, Aussies have it.
the disgusting
But it's actually
the
British.
paste
But, yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's like Vegemite. It's made out of
Oh, Vegemite. Yeah, isn't that supposedly really disgusting?
It's the same.
Oh,
It's a branded Vegemite. Basically, it's disgusting. Tastes like shit.
Kevin?
Fermented shit, by the way.
I'll ferment it.
right. So, I mean, second season. I'm basically putting what Bish said. I mean, when I first finished, I was really hyped. I actually really wanted to watch the second season right away before we recorded this episode. For whatever reason, I didn't. And after talking with you guys today, I think that it kind of went down even more. I mean, I still want to watch it eventually, but not immediately because I don't. I mean, we already pointed out how the first season was flawed in that it was very diluted. There was no direction, and a lot of the characters were poorly developed, right? And I just don't want to watch the 12 episodes right away if there's no clear direction for the plot, and it's just so, convoluted and, really, doesn't have a purpose, It's just not
I kind
worth...
of agree. It's like you shouldn't like go right to it because like at that point it's just be like you're just gonna see more of the same.
Yeah. As for whether I'd recommend it to a friend, kind of like Bish, although I wouldn't totally be hesitant to suggest it to a person that's new to anime, because, Nisekoi does include some cliche moments that are present in other anime, so it wouldn't be something that's really weird or offsetting. But at the same time, I'd strongly recommend it to people who are familiar with harems and romance comedies, right? Because this is a great example of the genre, and it contains good characters, lots of funny moments. I would not recommend it to people who are looking for a serious anime or an anime with very developed characters or intricate plot. It's an anime, like I said. I'd recommend it to people who watched The Devil is a Part-Timer. It's one of those anime where you have to shut off your brain and just laugh at funny moments. You can't try to analyze it or expect too much from the characters themselves, right?
It's one of those shows where you just like sit back and just let the funny moments come to you.
Exactly.
Joe, I know that both you and I have seen the second season. You have seen it partially, but at least, and I direct this question
a part of it.
to you. I kind of went on ahead
I've seen
saying
a lot of it,
that.
though. I think I've seen like half of it, maybe.
So I wanted to read this question at you, and I already kind of answered this saying that I prefer season 1 to season 2. How do you feel about Nisekoi season 1 and comparing to season 2? Which one do you prefer, and would you suggest it to someone?
Well, I'd honestly prefer like the first one because it's kind of like that's where like it all started. That's where like most of like the character development was. Because like season 2 is kind of like it feels like it's satisfying like people that watch the show more. This is kind of like more of like the same stuff, but like it's kind of like it's like better. It's better, but it's like it's still more of the same.
Okay, fair enough.
And like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it's kind of like they do in some new stuff, and it's like it's really interesting. But like other than that, it's kind of like it's kind of like it's basically continuing where season 2 left off. Season 1 where I left off.
No, but you know how when season 2s are developed are precisely targeted at people who saw season 1, and usually usually the how should I say it? The first work is the second work, sorry, is better than the first. I personally don't feel that way with this Nisekoi.
Well, honestly, like normally I don't really prefer like the second season to like the first season. Like there are a few times where like it has happened, but like most of the time it's just like I kind of like prefer like the original material because that's like after all it's like where it all started. It's kind of like that's where like start branching off from.
Fair enough.
Like season 2, like usually like a sequel or like a second season is something that's supposed to like elaborate on the first season and like try to be better. So it's like it kind of like it does try to do new stuff, but like in the end, I'd still say the first season's better because like it's still like it has like a lot to see. And like the second season, as opposed to like the second season, where it's like you're kind of like stuff like you've already seen in season 1, other than like those few parts where like something new happens.
Alright, so with those words, we come to a conclusion of this episode of Get Life Podcast Kunai. Next episode is gonna be the Christmas special. Last year, we did a monolithic episode in which we cover 12 different animes, but we're not gonna do that this time around. This time we're gonna be doing something different. And we're gonna be covering Studio Ghibli. Or is it Ghibli? I don't know how that's pronounced, but we're gonna be covering Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away. So that's coming up next on Get a Life Podcast Kunai.
Yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, don't hesitate to check us out on iTunes and iTunes and Stitcher. Sorry, my bad. Also, you can contact us on Twitter to suggest episodes, just talk about anime in general that we've been watching, that we've discussed. So, our page is at GLP Kunai on Twitter.
GLAP.
Or you can contact us. That's what I said, didn't I?
You said GLP.
Oh, oops.
GLP.
Anyways.
GALP.
Yep, sorry. So, as always, my Twitter handle is at The Tempest Phoenix with capitals at the beginning of every word.
Don't listen to him, just capitalize everything. Oh my gosh. Bish?
Yeah, and my Twitter page is at Kane. So you guys know. Not at Kanye. Sorry, it's Kane _. Sorry,
Bish, last time you did that, you forgot to mention your own fucking page.
No, seriously, my Twitter page is at Get a Life Podcast. If you guys don't already know, it's really simple. And I'm just going to go in, shamelessly self-advertise. Go check out the original Get a Life Podcast if you like games. Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, I appear there and I talk about stuff and video games.
Joe's there as well.
Speaking of shameless self-promotion, Nando's, if you're still listening, we need a sponsor.
Fun fact, I'm going Nando's tomorrow.
One day I'll get a taste of Nando's, alright? One day.
You have one near you, yet you don't want to go because
it's
in
in
a bad
Toronto,
area.
but it's in the most ghetto corner of Toronto.
Kevin, seriously,
let's make this a hashtag. Like, let's get Nando to send me some
Kevin,
food or something.
Seriously,
Hashtag
don't go there
Nando's.
because seriously, don't go there because I had to cut off that joke from the blooper reel of Dalmachi for being racist.
What?
So please don't go there.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say something completely inappropriate.
No, I cut off that joke for being racist on Dalmachi. So please don't repeat it.
Wait, what?
Okay, but anyways, guys, I think this is a good way to end the episode.
Hey, mother!
No?
I haven't mentioned mine.
Wait.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Wait a second. I didn't say anything about me yet.
No one needs to know.
I didn't say my Twitter handle.
What if you're not important, Joe? No, just kidding. No one will ever notice you.
You know what? I'll remember that when I start watching Haganai.
Wow. Well, so much for going in with your thoughts and your thoughts only, eh?
No, I'm gonna go with my thoughts. I'm just gonna go in with a grudge too.
Wow. Very mature, Joe. Very mature.
But anyway, mine is Kibo Gamer, Kibou Gamer.
And my Twitter handle Bish already mentioned it, but I would like to spell it out. Is KANAYE _. Also, if you don't got Twitter and you still want to contact us, you can contact us by email at galp.pea@gmail.com. Alright guys, so that's another Get a Life Podcast Kunai episode on the bag. Goodbye and thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye. Bye everyone, and remember, stay sexy.
Yeah.
I was livid when Kevin suggested that Marika was actually his best girl, and I'm like,
I knew
what
that.
the
I knew,
fuck?
I knew he was going to say that.
What the
What is it?
fuck?
Wait. He said Mariko was best girl.
He actually hinted at that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to be fucking
What if
kidding
he's
me.
trolling us?
Guys. For this entire podcast, Kevin's opinions do not matter.
can't say
Exactly.
Well, no, I can get free pizza if I'm there, and then like I can always wait until like later at night when he comes home, so you can bring like a pie or something,
What do you mean by a pie?
like a pizza pie,
Don't know what that is.
8 slices.
So it's just a pizza.
Yes, we call it a pizza pie, where like it's like in like a circle of pizza cut into 8s, or like 16ths, or like 4ths, or whatever.
So it's just a pizza.
Yeah, it's still pizza.
That would make it sound like the White House has been invaded by London or something.
The British is coming. When you grow older, your taste in best girl will develop. It will age kind of like a fine wine. It gets better with age. So be patient for that.
I was thinking of this recently, and of how Get a Life Podcast Kunai is like a coming of age show. Like, we started ignoring at the beginning, and then as the longer we do the show, we get more experience, and
But we do not get more mature, Tyson. We do never get more mature.
Slightly.
How was Baka and Tess, by the way? I wanted to see that episode.
Bish is working on that one. So
Wait, you didn't.
Bish?
Wait. Kevin, were you on? Back
No,
and
I was
Tess?
not. Oh,
no, he wasn't.
I was gone. Remember, that was the one episode where I wasn't there.
What? No, you came
Yeah.
back for back and Tess.
No. This is the first episode I'm on since I'm back.
Oh my god.
No, you're the one that disagrees only to disagree.
What? Hey,
You what, mate?
Yeah, I said it. You what, mate?
Hang on. The level of salt right now just increased like exponentially. Hang on, let me just process this insult. All right. Tyson, fuck you. No, I'm not the person who disagrees. And he's probably gonna put this on the loop reel just because he can.
Yeah, he is.
Just because he can.